Hello, I'm here with another Earth DPS video. The one prior to this one was a poor read on my part. Now, before I begin, I want to thank the DCUO Earth forum guys / gals for help on this, i.e. Doggy Coat, J Farrow, Lace Dog, Clutch, and more. If you ever need help with Earth powers, I would suggest the DCUO forums. That's where you should bring your questions to, and they're more than happy to help you there. Also, after the video, I would like to ask you not to sub, but instead click on the links on the share tabs. The links take you to the DCUO forums. They're regarding needed fixes for Earth. I would really appreciate you if you support it by thumbing each and every one of them up. Moving on, I also want to thank Shiny Mackerel again. Without his tools, I wouldn't be able to become a better DPS. I'll go ahead and leave the links to Shiny Mackerel's DCUO Combat Analyzer, a comparison of all weapons, legends, PvP character stats, and more. Now we're going to be moving on to tactics for Earth. In this loadout rotation, we omitted totem from our loadout. First, because we don't have the space, and two, its awkward timing and its cooldown slows us down in terms of fluid damage. Having to use totem stops us from damage in order to summon it. Even if you clip the power, all power clips are held to the animation pass of 0.8 to 1.2 seconds. Now, because we've taken out totem, that's 3% less crit ability and weapon attack chance gone. I say no worries, we'll just leech off of the buff from one of the other powers to complete us for the 10%. So here's a screenshot of Earth with just reinforce. There we have the 15% precision buff and the 7% crit ability and the weapon attack chance. Now if you're grouped with somebody with the buffs that I'm going to be mentioning, you have to be near them, because the buff is only applied to the closest 3 members of the group. If you're in an alert, no worries, it's the entire group, because that's just 3 of you, including the person giving the buff. But if it's a raid, you need to make sure that you follow them. Be very close to them. Be on their backs. Sorry. So moving on. Here's hard light user using inspiration. So you see the higher buff of inspiration, the 10% overwrites the lesser of the 7% of reinforce. Regardless if you use reinforce before or after, the higher buff always overwrites. Now here again we have nature, who's using carnage. In addition to that, they're using hive mind. So you're not only covered for the 10%, hive mind also gives you a 15% increase in might. The same buffs go for berserk, which is rage. Bloodlust, which is rage, covers you for the 10%, and wired, which is electric, that covers you for the 10%, and it gives you a 15% increase in might. Now for the piece de resistance, in other words, the best buff of them all, celestial. Earth gets their 10% and Earth also gets to keep its 7%, making a stacking of 17% crit ability and weapon attack chance total, of course with a 15% precision buff. So yeah. Furthermore, regarding in tactics, because we're using the weapon mastery hand blasters to bow explosive shot, it moves us up forward towards the action. That's not where we want to be too close, or we'll get knocked out. Now, when we want to reset ourselves back a little ways, instead of stopping and moving back, a more efficient way is after we clip either reinforce or unstoppable, we can just jump backwards and continue our rotation even in the air. Last and far from least, the supercharged meteor. It benefits from the weapon mastery crit. So you do a weapon mastery and then you usually clip it with a power. Instead you clip it with meteor. You get the crit from that, and voila, it's a 30k damage. No, it's not really 30k damage, it's actually more. Okay, so that's about it, and so without further ado, let's begin. Earth DPS Loadout rotation GU41. The weapon mastery we'll be using here is hand blasters to bow explosive shot. The loadout is Rumble Crush, Reinforced, Debris Field, Striking Stones, Unstoppable, and the Supercharged Meteor. Step 1, Weapon Mastery. Step 2, Clip Weapon Mastery with Rumble Crush, then immediately clip that with Reinforce. Follow up with Debris Field. Step 3, Weapon Mastery. Step 4, Clip Weapon Mastery with Striking Stones. Immediately clip that with Unstoppable. Let's pause right here real fast. To get the usage out of Unstoppable, you have to be in mid to melee range, with melee shining out the most because more targets to impact. Okay, so with that said, let's move on. Step 5, Weapon Mastery. Step 6, Clip Weapon Mastery with Rumble Crush. Step 7, Weapon Mastery. Step 8, Clip Weapon Mastery with Striking Stones and immediately clip that with Reinforced. Next, throw out Debris Field. Step 9, Weapon Mastery. Step 10, Clip Weapon Mastery with Rumble Crush. Step 11, Weapon Mastery. Step 12, Clip Weapon Mastery with Striking Stones. After that, just rinse and repeat. It's not really hard to remember once you get started, and no worries, ladies and gentlemen, I have slowed down the rotation of this video 2 times slower than my usual videos, so it's easier to follow. Well then, take care, peace. Also make a note, the video gameplay after this rotation, it's just for demonstrational purposes. The guys and girls I'm playing with on here, they're playing off their off-spec DPS. They're not really DPSing. That's not their primary role. So negate the scoreboard for that. And again, that video is just for testing. Okay. Laters.
Love that's true, help it you, oh, much better, oh, I love you, promise you a star, promise you a moon, a love that's true, help it you, oh, much better, oh, I love you, promise you a star, promise you a moon, a love that's true, help it you, oh, much better, oh. oh, much better, oh, I know you. That little star is not quite so far. A love that's true, help it you, oh, much better, oh, I know you. Promise you a star, promise you a moon. A love that's true, help it you, oh, much better, oh, I know you. That little star, that little, a love that's true, help it you, oh, much better, oh, I know you. Promise you a star, promise you a moon. A love that's true, help it you, oh, much better, oh, I know you. Promise you a star, promise you a moon. That is you. A love that's true, help it you, oh, much better, oh, I know you. That little star, not quite so far. That is you. A love that's true, help it you, oh, much better, oh, I know you. That little star, not quite so far.